Today I bring you something a little bit different from myself, not really about the racing as such, but I'm going to cover the build of my brand new rig. I've been sat on this footage for a good few months. I just haven't found the time to edit it and put it all together, but I have actually found that time now, so it's about time I actually brought it to the channel. Not only does this cover the actual rig build, but I thought it'd be a good idea to kind of show you my office and explain the setup I was using before I got the rig, going all the way back from playing Formula 1 to now playing iRacing, and how everything kind of changed and evolved over time and why it needed to change and evolve. I quite like doing these different videos, so if you do enjoy it, please let me know down below in the comments. I've also got ideas for other videos that are going to be coming really soon to the channel. So without further ado, let's jump in. So this is the office. This is where everything happens. By day it's my workspace, and by night it's my sim racing space. So just kind of give you a kind of like a little tour of kind of like what I got here. So as you see, I've got the triple monitors. They are the Ayama gaming monitors, the Blackhawks, 25-inch I think they are. Just down here we have the beast, we have the gaming PC, excuse the waste paper bin. So yeah, that's my gaming PC. And so I've got some LEDs around my desk. And my microphone just mounted there, so I can kind of just pull it down and put it where I need it to go. So the desk itself I've had for a few years. This is actually a maneuverable desk. It's a height adjustable desk. It's got on the motors and everything. So I kind of have like a preset here at the minute, so I can change it to height. I kind of run the desk at about 81 centimeters tall for racing. Sometimes during the work, or if I do some of my other hobbies like DJing, I've got it like set to sort of raise up even more, which is really quite cool. When I stream on my main YouTube and Twitch channels, I occasionally stream stood up as well when I'm playing games, so that was quite cool. But yeah, it's really cool to be able to like adjust the height of your desk as well. I find it really helps for work as well, so I'm not like sat on my bum for 8 hours straight. So yeah, that's a basic overview of my setup in my office. Like I say, work by day, game by night. So kind of like how my rig setup has changed over years. So ever since we've been in this house, I've had this trusty thing. This is my, I think it was like Element gaming chair. I mean, it's, yeah, nothing special, but as you can kind of see here, it's starting to get a little bit tatty in places, but it does the job. So I obviously run my Logitech G29, which I have done since I had the Logitech Driving Force GT. So I upgraded to this afterwards, and here I've got the MVH Studio mount, which if we go over here allows me to swap out my wheels on the Logitech G29, and there's obviously the stock wheel. But when I moved from the Driving Force GT to the G29, one of the big things was like the brake. So in the original Driving Force GT, the brake pedal was very easy to push. I came to the G29 and I started hitting resistance. So you might be saying, well, why are you explaining this? Well, the reason was, obviously racing here on a chair with casters, when you've got no resistance, the chair stays in place. When you've got a bit of resistance, the chair moves backwards. And I was like, okay, how can I combat this? So, and this worked for me for absolutely years. This was absolutely fine. So here is my first ever, and excuse the quality of the wood, I mean, it was just on a hash together. This is my first ever kind of thing to help me, my chair stay in position. So let me kind of attach it here, and then I'll talk through basically why I did this. So literally the bit of wood here just sort of sat between the two back casters here, and it was just enough, like I kept it tight with these cable ties here, but obviously separated a little bit there. I could also take that out and it would tighten it up, but in short, I kind of just did enough to, like when I was pushing back on the stock G29 pedal, brake pedal, it would stop my chair from moving. So yeah, there was enough resistance kind of there on my carpet and bits and pieces. So yeah, for years when I was racing in Formula One, it was great. It did the job. When I first started on iRacing and set a course of this year, it was, again, it did the job. But then I bought this, which is the True Brake pedal mod for the Logitech G29. And it basically turns your brake pedal more into a load cell pedal. So I can't show you it at the minute because obviously I've got it attached to my pedals, but the original G29 pedal is actually in here with the spring and everything. It's quite nice. The GT edition, you kind of get your different kind of spring weights. So I think at the minute I went up to the 30 kilo spring. I didn't mean to put the 38 kilo spring in, but no, we're kind of at the 30 kilo spring. So that was all good. However, now I needed to put even more brake force into the brake pedal, which meant after many years, this solution just wasn't going to cut it anymore. So I kind of got thinking and I got on the drawing board and I actually came up with another solution whereby I would kind of keep my pedals at the same distance from my chair. So let me set that up and I'll talk you through how it works and how I came up with it. Okay, so this is the solution I came up with my modular design. I mean, I'm not a very crafty person, but I was planning it out, trying to think of what I could do to kind of make this work. So this is what I came up with, and it's in 3 pieces. It's a modular design because I wanted something that would work, but at the same time, something that I could pack away and the actual footprint of it wouldn't take up too much space. And that's what happens here. So kind of just to show you kind of what happens, it's in 3 pieces. So we've got the pedals here on the, like what I call the pedal plate part, and that sort of like just lifts up. So it's just a bit of MDF with some wooden battens here, and we've got like this little gap here. So that gap there kind of allows it to sit over the top of this bit. And then if we look at the chair, I've kind of built this kind of box that kind of my wheels sit in, like this. And this just kind of sits like in here, in this groove here. So that sits in that groove. And then this sits on top of this groove. And what we actually end up with is my feet are kind of applying pressure in that direction. My body weight is shifting that way as I apply the brakes, and everything just kind of like hits each other. Like all these connecting pieces hit each other, and it's actually very, very sturdy. The pedals don't move anywhere, the chair doesn't move anywhere. I've kind of like the opposing forces. I'm kind of like balancing everything out. And yeah, it works really, really well. So I was really happy with like this when I came up with it. Like I said, just that slides in there. If for whatever reason, when I set this up, I'm not very straight in front of my middle monitor, then I can actually, because this isn't locked in place, this in like on this axis, I can actually move my chair left and right, but obviously going backwards and forwards, it won't budge. You see, it's not flush, so there is a bit of movement forwards and backwards. But yeah, so that's what I came up with, and I've been running this since probably May, June, whenever I can't remember when I bought the True Brake pedal mod, but I've been running this ever since, and yeah, I've been really, really happy with the way I've been able to drive with it. But I kind of getting to the point now where I feel like I need something a lot more stable. There's a bit too much flex in this because, you know, like I just demonstrated there, there's a bit of movement there. And the same sort of thing here. You can kind of see like there is a bit of movement, but as you can see, like I'm pushing against the pedals there, and I'm pushing against the chair, and everything just kind of, I've got like equal and opposing forces. Is probably maybe the best way to describe that. I don't really know, to be fair. But yeah, this has been doing me through for probably the best part of 6 months. But I'm at a point now where I kind of want to, you know, try and take my driving to the next level. And the problem is, I think with this, is because it's a modular setup and because I have to get it out and put it away every time I use it, you kind of do get bits of inconsistencies. You know, like I said, because you've got a little bit of play, the pedals might be screwed a little bit, or you might be a little bit further over here. So I'm not sat in exactly the same place every time I race. So how do we fix that? Well, I guess the only way to fix that will be to invest in a rig. Well, I guess that's what we've done. So let's go take a look at my brand new rig. All right, so it has arrived and we've taken delivery of it. It's we've got the RS12 black fabric seat, and then we've got 3 boxes here for the actual Prime Lite rig. So we'll get into these boxes and see what everything looks like inside. Okay, so I'm going to start and have a look at the seat first. Sorry, Marlo. Sorry. Probably not the best place to be doing this, as my office is pretty darn small, but let's take a look, see what we got. So here is the seat, which is in 2 pieces. So I don't intend to take this out of the packaging until I need it, but obviously looks nice. Nice stitching, looks nice and comfortable. Nice little details on the seat there. So that's pretty cool. And then in the box still here, there is the reclining mechanism. It's a lumbar support. And then you've got the actual seat there, the uprights where it sits on. So yeah, all nicely packaged in there as well, which is really cool. So that's the first box. Let's have a look to see what is in the others. Okay, so I've kind of undone 2 of the boxes and left this one here. So this big box here, which actually says it's the box 1, I think. This looks like it has a lot of stuff in it. It's got lots of fixtures, fittings, spirit levels, tools, corner supports, and then some of the smaller bits, I guess. Some smaller bits of profiling there. The other 2 boxes were big long bits of profile. Hey, Milo. Hello. So yeah, they've got the long bits of profile, so they're obviously going to run long ways down the rig. And then that says, I think that's the wheel support. So I've never put anything together like this before with profile, so I don't know how long this is going to take me to put together. Also as well, these came separately. You've been sat here for about a week, but I've also bought some casters from the guys over at Race Anywhere. So yeah, we'll be attaching these because when I'm not using the rig, got to go through there into the garage, and they'll be stored in the garage so I can do my regular day's work in here at the desk. So yeah, I'll probably need a couple of hours. We're going to put everything together, see what it looks like, and I'll give my thoughts of like how easy I found it to put together, being like the first ever thing like this I've ever built. Okay, so we're about an hour and a half, maybe an hour and 45 in, and this is what we've got so far. So we've got the main frame done of the rig. Got the seat on. The seat was quite fiddly to get on, like not a lot of room, so yeah, it was quite difficult, but we got there in the end. And the pedal plate as well, had some jobs like pushing it either side, like where you need to connect the pedal, these side screws to. Obviously I'm not measuring anything out at the minute, like it's like distances like from the seat and bits and pieces. But yeah, that's where we are so far. Unfortunately got to pack up though for today. But yeah, I mean, I can already tell I'm massively off here. I've got the seat quite a fair way back, so like if I recline all the way back, I'm actually over the edge. I don't know if that's the right way to do it. There's no real guidance on like positioning the seat. Yeah, anyway, first impressions, pretty sturdy. I've put my wheels on as well at the minute, because now I need to get it into there to pack up for the time being. But yeah, so far so good. And we'll come back to it tomorrow. Okay, so the build is done. I've kind of measured out the position for the wheel and the pedals, and I'll talk through a few more things once I actually get the rig in position and we actually test it out on the track. So just wanted to like touch on a point I mentioned before, that like I was having trouble like securing these in place, but I was actually using the wrong screws. There's some that are the same size, but they are a little bit shorter, so I was using the shorter ones, which is why I was having the issue. But yeah, everything's really nice and solid. Even the wheel, like, which is going to be massive for me, because it was only obviously mounted onto there before. But yeah, the casters work really well as well. So these are the casters I got from Race Anywhere, and yeah, I can maneuver it around and do bits and pieces. Just got the locking ones on the back so I can lock it, which I thought was the right thing to do. I'm pretty sure it is. First look at the seat as well. The seat's really nice. Out the packaging, really nice design. And yeah, so like I say, I got everything, my Logitech and everything bolted to it. So one thing I noticed is I am much lower to the floor in the rig. If I look to the rig here, my monitors are like all the way up here. So to give you an indication, when I was using it on the desk, I was running the desk like 81 centimeters high. I've changed my preset now for sim racing. So if I press number 2, which is my sim racing prefix, I'm actually now racing at 65 centimeters, which is, my eye level is kind of in the middle there of the monitor. Hi, by the way. Hi. So yeah, I'm going to race a lot lower to the ground. So I don't know how that's going to be. Obviously, my feet therefore are kind of like a lot closer as well. So yeah, I don't know. My feet are raised more than they used to be, but I suppose it's going to have to take a while to kind of get comfy to like relaxing this foot, because I've kind of been sat most more like with bent knees a lot more of the time, whereas now they feel like they're out a little bit more straight. But anyway, I'm going to get the rest of the rig and everything set up, and then we'll jump in and see what we can do. So here we are. I thought I'd load up Nords and the ProMaster because I enjoy driving this. Yeah, first impressions, just kind of like pushing myself back against the seat here. Everything's locked in place. There's a little bit of movement in the seat, but and this was the one thing I was like a little bit wary of, whether or not to go for a recliner or a bucket seat. I think overall the recliner will be a lot more comfortable, but there is just like a little bit of play there as I kind of initially hit back. I mean, maybe adjust that, but I don't think it's going to be anything that's going to bother me too much. Yeah, that feels like a good position. Yeah, I'm a bit further away from the screen now. Obviously, I've tried to like move this quite close to the edge of my desk, but I've still got kind of like that much, I think, further back from the screens now, which isn't ideal, obviously, because my monitors are bolted and I can't move them. But because I'm running the triples, I've still got a good field of view everywhere around me. So brakes, I mean, already I can feel like that against the brakes. I feel a lot more supported in the back. My office chair was very old, it's very rickety. There's kind of a bit of movement there, and it's really nice as well to actually not twizzle from side to side occasionally when we are turning the bits of piece. Anyway, let's go on out. Already I can, yeah, the braking feels a little bit weird. Probably because of my different, like, position, my legs. Wheel feels a little bit different as well. If that's now that it's bolted through the rig, I can kind of feel a bit more vibrations actually through the seat and everything. My hands feel a lot more relaxed than they were before. I kind of felt like I was maybe sometimes too close to the steering wheel, but it feels like a comfortable position. Braking felt pretty good. Yeah, everything's feeling nice and solid. Just like now, I just need to get used to like my left leg here. What to do with it when I'm not on the brakes. Almost feel like where the clutch is, like resting it on there. But because I'm not using the clutch, because I'm using the clutch in this car. Oh, that's good for the wall. Ah, yeah, I kind of, everything feels a lot more stable now. Like I'm not, my whole body's not moving. Oh man, curb there. Pushing too much too soon. Yeah, so yeah, because I'm not, as I'm turning, my whole body is not rotating. It just feels very solid, very planted. I kind of got that feeling now that when I steer, I'm not like steering on a slant kind of thing, because like my body's twisted. It's perfectly straight in front of me, which really should help with consistency. It's just about like where I'm like putting my left leg to relax my left leg. I just feel like I need something. Hold it. Yeah, I feel like I like need something to. Oh, I beached the car. Problem with the Nords, curves are that high, you need to get beached on them. I just feel like I need something on my left, just to relax my leg. I mean, maybe as I get more used to it, I'll find like a natural, comfy position to put that leg. But like in road cars, you often have like a little bit of plastic at the side of your clutch, or if it's an automatic, at the side of your brake pedal, where you can like put your leg to kind of, not to relax it as such, but it's kind of like a comfortable position to put it. Just for now, it just feels a bit alien to me. But yeah, just being able to kind of like look towards the apex, not worrying about my whole body rotating is really nice. And that thought that I'm not going to pull the wheel off the desk is also nice. I used to do that quite a few times. But I don't know if that's more because, like I just said, like I'm not in a stable, constant position. And because of my body's rotating, when I think I'm turning, I'm actually kind of doing it in a way that I'm trying to sort of explain, like, because my hands are probably not parallel next to each other, they're kind of like offset a little bit. As I'm turning, I'm kind of like trying to, maybe I'm like yanking the steering wheel off the rig, off the desk, sorry, trying to describe something quite technical whilst also driving at Nords, and trying to do it at a relatively high speed is clearly quite taxing for my brain to comprehend. But sorry about that jargon description there. Still kind of confidence through the carousel. And we got it in. I don't know if it's because I'm sat further back as well, but I'm getting like a bigger sensation of speed for doing my FOV settings and sitting a little bit further back. And I'm not saying that because it's a bad thing. I quite like it. I haven't changed any of the FOV or camera positions like for you guys as such, so you guys won't see anything different and your sense of speed probably won't change, but gotta watch the understeer in this car. Also watch the second carousel because it's very to pop out of there in this car. Still such a fun car to drive, this one. But yeah, there we go. There's pretty much our first racing lap in the new rig. Just feels very solid, like nothing I've ever driven before, and hopefully it's like a step for me in the right direction to now start like improving my iRatings a little bit more, as I kind of feel like I'm stuck at like the 1500 mark and really struggling to kind of like progress any further. But to have like a solid base where everything's bolted down, all the distances are the same week in, week out, should really help. So yeah, can survive Nords in our new rig. Tick. Let's ignore the 10 incident points that we picked up along the way, yeah? I'm gonna have another couple of laps here. Great fun. So yeah, there we go, guys. That is our first few laps in the rig. Hope you enjoyed this one. I kind of like wanted to do a like setup video for a while, and then I thought it'd be nice to kind of like talk through like how my setup has evolved in the last kind of year, especially since I started racing on Assetto Corsa and iRacing as opposed to just in Formula One. So, I say, I hope you enjoyed this one, guys. If you want to see like more videos like this in the future, let me know. I mean, I don't know what else I'll be doing. Obviously, it'll more just be like equipment upgrades and things. So yeah, let me know if you want to see more like this, guys. So again, hope you enjoyed it, and yeah, thanks for watching. Till next time, see ya.